This is the Stockwell Eldridge Show, giving you the real-time information you need to make educated decisions about buying and selling in the world-renowned Twin Cities. Now your hosts and real estate experts, Jason Stockwell and Don Eldridge.
Good morning, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Welcome to the Stockwell Eldridge Show. I'm Jason Stockwell with RE/MAX Results, and we have Christopher Harrington.
Hello.
Filling in.
Hello.
For Dawn Eldridge. Dawn Eldridge is out. Her son is sick, and I was sick last week, so we're kind of taking turns here. So, Christopher Harrington, RE/MAX Results agent, also a performer, guitar, singer, piano, violin. What else do you do?
I do some drums.
Drums?
I like drums. I like banging on drums, yes.
So we will be having Christopher do our intro, our in and out music live with the holiday spirit, with holiday music theme. So we're very excited about that. So thanks.
Awesome.
I've been dreaming for a little Jason Stockwell White Christmas.
Yeah.
But I love it. He can just sing all
Every
day.
Yeah,
Stockwell
ad-lib.
agent should land up in your stocking. Oh yeah.
Stockwell stocking. I like it.
And we have Stephanie Havel, Wells Fargo. Welcome back, Stephanie.
Good morning. Thanks, everybody. Glad to be here.
Nate Nelson, Mesley and Kramer. How you doing, Nate?
Excellent. A pleasure to be here.
Looking sharp, Nate. I must say, new suit. It must be new haircut, and every time you look better and better when you come in here. I don't know what.
And look at the, I just noticed it too. Wow, the pink tie matches the pink thread.
It looks great, man. You got to check him out on YouTube.
Now it's matching the pink cheeks from him blushing.
I thought we were going to be on TV.
Yes, check us out on YouTube, folks. You'll see with Nate. And then we have John Zeman with Vanquish AP.
Good morning.
Welcome back.
Happy to
Again,
be
nice
here.
sport
I was
coat.
just gonna
Everybody's
say,
in the
we
holiday
can't-
spirit.
We can't Don John. He's got the blazer going on over there, the gray and blue. Looks
It
nice
looks
also.
great. So our
Yeah.
topics
Well,
today,
thank
we have a great show today with a lot of experts here, as you know, and we're going to be talking a little bit about return of the boomerang buyers. We're going to be talking about a study that shows that low-income housing in your area or in your neighborhood actually does not impact your property values negatively the way you may perceive or think it does. And also talking about Trump's new tax plan and policies and how that may affect you as an individual investor or just an individual in general. And also maybe how we can tie that into housing, how that affects maybe investors in housing. And then John can give us an update on the rental market. Investors are still buying. I've seen it anyway out there, buying like crazy actually right now. I mean, so let's go right into that. Let's go right into the market update. Market update. I got an email from someone at the Star Tribune recently and said, hey, we're looking for some information for a story. What are you seeing this November and December in the market? I said, hey, slow down a little bit, but overall, it's busy. You talk to title companies, you talk to agents. I mean, agents are still really busy. Title companies are really busy. Mortgage lenders are still really busy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cleaning up some of the stuff from before. But if you're in the investment world and on any level, it is very busy. It's probably busier than it has been in a long time because they're trying to scoop up remodel projects for the winter, buying investment properties, right, John?
Yep. My business partner is going on a tear right now. I think he's bought like 5 in the last 3 months.
Really?
Like that. I mean,
rental properties?
Yeah, rental properties, single-family homes, duplex. I mean, he's going on a tear too. So I guess it's the right time.
And then they're all. What's the plan with them? They're all just long-term holds. Is that what the plan is?
Yeah, that's what he's doing right now. Yeah, he's got a goal to have a certain amount of cash flow each month that these rentals are going to generate. So that's kind of what he's going after. He's going to hold them for a while and kind of see where the market takes
Twin
it.
Cities or St. Cloud or Rochester? Or where?
Twin Cities, and he bought one in St. Cloud recently too. But mainly Twin Cities.
And what are you seeing on the renters from the renters overall? The market's still good on the rental, right? The rates are still great. They're not going down or anything yet.
No, we're still raising our releasing and everything every single month. They keep going up 5% year over year for the cost of renting. So everything's good there. We haven't had to lower any prices. Things that we are continuing to lease out are leasing out within 30 days. So we've been happy.
I've heard there's essentially zero vacancy in the Twin Cities. Does that sound about right? Or
Yeah,
2%,
no, I mean, yeah, it's
zero.
low. It's essentially zero. It's
Yeah.
very low. We seem to be able to fill up anything that comes into our office. So we've been
John
happy.
runs Vanquish AP, property management company. So if you are a landlord or looking to be a landlord, I would highly recommend them for giving you a quote to run your projects or your properties because they do a great job. It's all online. I Katie, my wife, I sent her the login and password the other day, and she's like, "Oh my God, this is awesome!" So she's able, because she's into spreadsheets and keeping track of data, and she's very good at that, and I'm not, and so she was very appreciative of what Vanquish AP has on their systems for that, and the releasing, all done electronically. I mean, it's just really, really takes a lot of liability off of you as a landlord and owner, and I would recommend it to anybody, even if you have one property, even or a duplex, but especially if you have more than one.
What's the website?
Yeah, it's vanquishap.com. That's
Okay.
V as in Victor, ANQUISHAP.com. So yeah, it's a proprietary system. We built it all ourselves,
And
software-wise.
you're the software writer
Yep,
behind it, right?
I'm the guy who codes it. We're over 1 million lines of code now, and it essentially automates your whole portfolio. So, it tracks all your bills. It handles all the bill paying, late fees, generation of reports, everything. So,
Yep, and if you have specific instances where there's water bills and stuff like that, I mean, where each property has these different scenarios, they have a system that puts it in for that, so it's automated, so you're not having to remember, and that's the biggest thing. Is once you start building to scale, it's very difficult to remember every single detail and to collect, frankly, too. It's kind of a pain in the
Sure.
butt. It sucks.
Yeah. Well, I was on yesterday. I heard Ted Jones. He's an economist for Stuart Title. He's a great guy. And check him out on his Twitter page. But he talked about like the Twin City market. We're going to see an increase of rentals. Some of the millennials are waiting a little bit longer to buy homes or working on paying off that student loan debt. But jobs and maybe even Nate, we talk about some of that. But the job market is really great in the Minneapolis St. Paul market, and so not only housing, but jobs is really what's going to help stimulate. The housing market as well.
Yeah, and we
in
have
Minneapolis,
tons
and we're in a
I mean,
really great.
Any of you go, if you're listening and you go into a store, how many of you have been into a store recently or going to a restaurant or somewhere, and they have just signs out that says, we'll hire on the spot X amount per hour. Like, they're people, any job
Right.
market, I mean,
well,
there's
go to
so
wellsfargo.com/careers and you can see all the opportunities
yeah,
that we
there's
have.
ton. I mean, you guys have a ton of openings and opportunities too.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's great, and that's why I said we feel really fortunate because other cities and industries, like he was showing the charts in some places that are having slow economic growth, obviously due to some of the oil and all those states and coal that they're not doing really well in. So, but yeah, he talked about just rentals and then the housing market. Refis, obviously, with the rates going up, we're going to see a decrease in the refinance market, but definitely a lot of opportunity with purchases, with housing, and then also just with rentals. Maybe some people just wanting to wait a little bit longer to get into a home, so they have more money saved up, or waiting for more inventory to come on the market to get these builders going with these condos and these home development projects.
Yeah, and I would say call us about your home if you're thinking of selling it or buying. And the early bird gets the worm. You know the expression. The early buyer gets the property in the year, so January, February, and the early seller gets the buyer. So it goes both ways. So be thinking about it and planning ahead. Even now, reach out to us if you have any questions about it. And I would go in January, or end of January, mid-January, early February, basically earlier than you think. Take the timeline that you think you're going to put your house on the market, and some people say, okay, April 15th. Back it up a month. Back it up 60 days if you can. Try to catch people early on. It'll be advantageous for you, and you'll be closing then in the April, May timeframe that you want. Excuse me. So that would be my thing. Question I have for Nate Nelson. Stephanie said that things are great and people are trying to get jobs all over and they're trying to hire and everything like that. Is that in part because of Donald Trump winning the election?
Well, I think the interesting
Or
thing...
in part.
We'll have to see, of course. But I think, when we have just such low economy right off the bat, if you do have employees and if you do have workers, your business value is going to go up quite a bit. I think the interesting thing that will happen as we go forward on top of the economy generally is how will Trump stimulate it himself. And some of the ways to do that are going to be the lowering of the income taxes. Right now, the high earners, the marginal rate is 39.6. Trump is going to bring that down to 33%. He's going to keep the capital gain differential between ordinary income and capital gains, which will help anyone wanting to sell. If to the extent there is a gain, there would be less of a gain. And then he's also repealing the alternative minimum tax, which is kind of a gotcha tax for high earner individuals, make up all the deductions that you basically gave that you took earlier in the tax return. So
I've seen that where it's just a line item and you don't even know what it's going to be right until the very end. There's no way of calculating it really. And
right, but it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
Well, he had talked about, and that's what made me think about you is and again, I was scratching notes and he was talking. I mean, it was just so entertaining. He's going to send us his presentation, but about companies, like the Medtronics, these larger corporations bringing their money back, or Boeing. I think I heard he said something about that too. Like, we'll buy the planes, but you got to make them. So, what was that tax thing about? If they bring the business here, it'll create more jobs. But what do these companies have to do then?
Well, Stephanie, I think that's getting back into maybe some of Trump's philosophy, which I don't presume to be an expert on, but I think his North Star, his guiding principle is what's going to be the best deal for America. And as we saw with Obama, he set forth several executive orders, just things that the president can do. Well, there's a lot of ideas out there that Trump is going to just automatically terminate all those executive orders, but he learned from that, if you will, from Obama. And what I think what we're going to see is that foreign countries trying to import into America may be facing the equivalent of a tariff under some sort of executive order, which is going to be a further incentive for American companies to compete, which gets back into his guiding principle, what's the best deal for America?
Right. And so keeping their companies here and then repealing some of those tax laws or giving them a tax break if they keep their company here, which obviously, Boeing, and create more jobs, make more planes and all that kind of stuff. But
and you get around into the more money that's floating around, the more the more wealthy people feel, then the more likely they are to maybe buy a home and invest into their properties. So we'll have to see that. But for every yin, there's a yang. And to the extent that Trump is reducing taxes, he's also taking away itemized deductions and some corporate deductions as well. I think overall we're going to see more income, and then you just deal with your own expenses, maybe greater individual and corporate accountability will make some sense.
Yeah, so that's kind of what it just shows, that people feel more confident, the jobs, then the housing, everything like that. And it's just a great, we have a lot of really great things coming for 2017 and real estate, rentals, everything.
I think so too. I think 2017 is going to be a really good year.
We thought,
especially early on, folks. That's why I'm saying get ready. I'm meeting people now for January, February property sales, and I think now's the time to do it. So we'll be back with more.
Of a Jason Stockwell, real estate agent. Why?
Stay tuned, folks. This is great live entertainment. We love it.
With every Christmas card I write,